right, increasing home care leads with your website and enhanced SEO. This is my favorite favorite topic of all time. So thanks everybody for joining us. I'm just going to do a real quick introduction of everybody on our leadership team. I'm Valerie, and George is my business partner, and Mark is our head of web development, and Dawn is here, and Lisa Marcellet, and Lauren. Everybody from our team is here. Not everybody, but you know, we're all around. We'll answer your questions. So use the Q&A for questions as we go. Yes, this is being recorded, and I promise we will send out the replay to everybody and their brother and their brother and their brother. So you will definitely see it. It'll also be it'll be on our podcast channel, it'll be on YouTube, it'll be on our website, it'll be everywhere. So if you follow our podcast, you'll be able to listen to it. You won't see the visuals, but anyway. All right, so on our agenda today, 2024 websites that make Google happy, 2024 content strategies that help Google rank your site, SEO strategies that ASN uses to help clients see better ranking results, how we create and publish content is changing, what works on the social platforms is shifting, and the strategies that worked in the past don't now. We need a new plan. So I will tell you that in 17-ish years of doing this, what we do as a team and what you all should be doing has changed, I don't know, every couple of years. I mean, maybe not quite that often, but we've gone through a whole lot of changes. And I don't think anything's changed radically in the last few years, but we're going to talk about some things I think are way more important now than they've ever been that folks need to sort of maybe get used to or use it to their advantage. So we're going to talk about that. All right. This is my little picture of a Google monster. So I asked AI to give me a watercolor picture of a Google monster, and this is what it came up with. So we're going to pretend like our Google monster is very happy, because if you make the Google monster mad, I can tell you that you will disappear from the internet if you make the Google monster mad. And the ways that you make Google monster mad are by trying to do things that it doesn't like, or duplicating your business location in Google business profiles, or just there's a whole slew of things that makes the Google monster angry. But we like to stay on the very happy side of Google. And so we're going to talk about all those things today. The first thing we're going to talk about are websites. Some of you are our clients, and you might see yourself here. And a lot of you are not our clients. But this is a screenshot or a couple screenshots of some of the websites we've done recently. This is not everything, but just gives you kind of an overview of what they look like on mobile and on different platforms. Why do these websites make Google happy? All of these websites are great in performance. They do generate leads. And the question is, why? Why is Google happy about these? So we're going to talk about why Google's so happy. The first thing that makes Google happy is speed. Speed, fast. So these two pictures that you see on the screen right here, you'll notice that it's a mobile view of that website. It's not your big desktop view. So what does Google Monster care about? He cares about everything mobile. Since about 2018, Google said, you know what? It's the mobile version that really matters. And I'm old, so I really like the desktop version of everything, but mobile matters. Everybody's on that little phone all day long. And so are your clients or your leads. So are your caregivers or your potential hires, and your referral sources are all on their phones all day long. And if they're going to look at your website, they're probably going to look at it at least at some point through a mobile device. So having great speed on mobile is number one. So you can see a couple of our recent websites are ranking very well, or they're very speedy. There's no problems. We always want to get an A grade on speed. Now, there are times when Google will make a change, and all of a sudden a website that was an A yesterday might be a B today. So we just go make a few tweaks and changes, and it's back to an A. But that's what Mark's for. Mark does all of that crazy, amazing stuff behind the scenes to make our websites roll faster. We also use very, very good hosting, very high quality hosting. It's not your Google, I mean, your GoDaddy, shared business hosting for 14 bucks a month. We use exceptional hosting on servers that are designed to make sure that your website is delivered at high speed. You can't pay for that for 14 bucks a month. That's not how it works. That is something that we are very, I guess, it's very important to us, and we know it's important to our clients because that's one of the ways we get them to rank when we use SEO. Speed is a top issue. If your website is slow, Google feels like that is a bad user experience. If it loads slow on mobile, it's a bad user experience. That makes Google mad. And so it doesn't want to show your website because it's loading too slow, and that hacks people off and they just leave and go to the next website. So speed is important, and that makes Google happy. All right. The next thing that makes Google happy is long form content. Now, the content that is on our client's website is written by us. So we don't ask our clients to write. We used to, if you've been around the block with us for a long time, we used to say, you know what, you really need to write this content. It's your business. You should write it. And that slowed our process down quite a bit because you guys are experts in home care or whatever services you provide. You weren't born to be a writer. That's not your gig usually. So we decided to have the content written for our clients. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but all of these pages that you see, for instance, on this website in this dropdown, are long form written content, usually about 1,000 words or more, with pictures and all kinds of other things that Google really likes. So long form content is where it's at. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a wordy screen here. You might want to screenshot this because I don't want to read all of these, but if you wanted to know why long form content was a good idea. Now, so if you look at your current website and all you have is a bulleted list of services like bathing, dressing, grooming, feeding, ambulating, and that's it. If that's, your whole page is basically a picture and a bulleted list and you're not ranking, that's why. That is not long form content. That is short content, and it's too short. So long form content gives Google a depth of information. It increases engagement because they got to read, higher keyword densities. So we can fit a lot of different keyword phrases in that long form content that help people and Google understand what this page is about. It shows your authority and expertise. I mean, you wouldn't have a long form content page if you didn't know a whole lot about that service. More opportunity for backlinks, comprehensive answers to user queries. One of the things that you'll notice about the websites that we build is that there's usually, not on every page, but most pages, most service pages have a frequently asked question at the bottom. So whatever we didn't cover up top, we put in, and it's in an accordion style, so it's not taking up a bunch of space. But there's a section of frequently asked questions at the bottom. And this is really important for SEO. And it's really important for the user who, they may have skimmed your page and didn't really find the answer to that question they were wondering about, but bam, they can see that in the frequently asked questions at the bottom, that there it is. There's the question that they were going to ask. So we do that specific to the service on almost every page we write. Improve user experience. Of course, if they're structured well, then, that's a nice user experience. It reduces your bounce rate. People are bound to stay there and not bounce around and bounce right off your website. It encourages people to share your pages, and it supports multiple search intentions because it's covering a lot of different parts and pieces of that service. Okay, how does long form content get written? So at ASN, like I said, we write the website content for you because we know that's not something you want to take the time to do. However, we always want you to edit the content as needed. So we create a website and put all the pages up for you. We put all the content there. We put all the pretty pictures in, and then we tell you go for it. And our clients get the opportunity to read those pages, take out what they don't like or what don't want, or rephrase something if they'd like. Some people do a lot of that, and some people say, you know what, this is great. I love it. Go with it. So clients get to edit their content. We write 1,000 to 1,500 words per page, and they are all search engine optimized, but they are written for the reader first. So where you might have a bulleted list of services, like our bulleted list of what companion care means. We also have that bulleted list because we know that people want to know, what does that include? Just give me the small list. But then after that, our long form content will start and talk about the benefits of companion care and, you know, the respite care opportunities and all those other things. So we start with a bulleted list a lot, not every time, but we start with that. And then because we know the reader is just going to want to, you know, sort of just breeze through that page really quick. So that's kind of how we do our long form content. Again, if you have any questions about how we're doing this for SEO or for websites, just go to the Q&A section and ask your question. I can't see that. So stop me if there's a question. Is there anything I need to know?
We're good right now?
Okay, cool. All right. The next thing I want to talk about that makes the Google monster super happy, and this is like chocolate chip cookies for Google, and that is schema code. And that sounds so nerdy. Schema code. What is that? It's what's on the menu. And this is a long explanation, so I'm just going to read the middle of this page. If a web page is about a recipe, the schema code that you put behind the scenes, this is stuff you don't see. It's only what Google sees. The schema code can specifically tell Google where the recipes, title, ingredients, and cooking time are. This makes it easier for Google to know exactly what's on the page and to show it in search results in a more helpful way. It's like a special box at the top of the page with key details. So this makes Google happy because it can provide a better experience to people searching for things online. So we want to do all we can do to make Google happy. So schema is really important. And what we know is that schema tells Google who you are, your organization, where you're located, how long you've been there, what services you provide. So every service page has its own set of schema. What type of business your organization is. So is it a home healthcare business? Is it a doctor's office? Is it a plumber or roofer? We don't service those people, but that's what it's looking for. What are you? What do you do? Who your key employees are. So your owners, your CEO, your president, or whoever it is that might be the face of the company. We try to put those people in that schema code so that Google understands that Valerie is the founder and co-owner, and George is the co-owner. And so when we talk about those people behind the scenes, Google puts two and two together. How people feel about your organization. So all of your reviews or some section of your reviews can be added to that schema so that Google knows, you know, people really like this organization. And then it also tells Google how many videos, articles, news items, frequently asked questions, and reviews are on your website. So the content. So with schema code, we give authority, trust, content, the type of organization you are, the services you provide, how long you've been in business, where you're located, and the name of your organization. And that is like a recipe to Google. Google never sees the beautiful parts of your website with the pretty pictures or the custom images that you had taken of all your team. It'll never see that. All it sees is the text and the code behind the scenes. So the more help you give Google, the better off your website will perform. So how does schema get on your website? Well, most website developers and SEO folks rely on plugins to do their schema. And that's only about half or even less than what we can do with schema. We can give Google so much information that it wants. And when you rely on a plugin to do that, oh, we use Yoast SEO, or we use Rank Math, or we use all-in-one SEO. That's fine to use those. But if you're not adding additional schema to help Google understand more about your organization, then you're missing half the battle there. It's really important to do that. So we handcraft the schema. Some plugins do some of it just kind of by nature, but we handcraft a very specific type of schema so that we can tell Google who your organization is, where your locations are, and all the other things you see on this page. So it's handcrafted by us. And that's automatic for all of our websites. Any questions? We're good? All right, so SEO for home care. Let's talk about that. There's 9 truths about SEO that I want all of you to know. And the first one is kind of funny and pretty obvious. Every human who provides SEO services, every single one, will tell you that the other person or the other organization is doing it wrong or that they can do it better. Guaranteed. Every SEO that solicits you or calls you today is going to tell you that they do SEO better than so and so because A, B, C, D, E. And everyone has a different opinion in the SEO world about what's good, what's bad, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what Google wants, what it doesn't want. And I think the reality is that common sense should be the rule. Do good, make Google happy, and then the rewards will follow. And it's not overnight. This isn't instant gratification by any means. Most humans who are good at SEO, like our team, will never tell you everything they do because they don't want their competitors to know their secret sauce. And I can say that's pretty true. We do a lot of cool things. They're all, something that Google would very much like and within all of Google's rules and regulations. But we're not going to say every little thing on our website because, we got to keep some of it for ourselves and we want you, our client, to do better than everybody else out there. This is number 3. It's easier to rank in a city or a town where you have a physical office. So if you have a physical office presence, you're always going to rank better there. Some of you have a Google business profile that is considered a service area profile. Very common in home care. It's very common for like a roofer, plumber, painters, because people don't come to their office, right? They go to people's homes or businesses to do their job. So they have a service area that they cover. And it's okay to have a service area. But you still, even if your address doesn't show up on Google, you still want to make sure you have a physical address that is a real address. It cannot be a PO box, a UPS store box. It cannot be a place where you just virtually get your mail and take phone calls and you don't really have an office there. Google's very specific about it. It's their rules. And if you do have a physical office somewhere, and it can be your house, I'll tell you that I have used, and I know some of you are very private about that and you don't want your home location to be on Google or whatever. I get it. It's totally fine. I am exactly the opposite. I am on the grid as much as possible. So, so the physical office is in St. Charles, Missouri. And if you look it up, you can look anywhere. It lists my house. This is my house. And I don't want you to come here necessarily. I'll meet you at the coffee shop. But you need to have a physical office. And I let it go. And for 16 years, I've had one client show up here that thought it was an office. Boy, were they surprised. So we don't advertise that, but that is the truth. And that's what happens. And no one has ever tried to come here and kidnap the home care marketing expert or her kids. So I don't know. I just kind of roll with that. It's harder to rank in a city or town where you do not have a physical office, but it's not impossible. So let's say your office is in St. Louis, Missouri, and you want to rank in St. Charles, Missouri, which is a suburb, and you want to rank there. It is very possible for us to rank you there. Very possible. Absolutely. But it's going to take longer because you have no physical location, no address. So it's going to take longer to do it, but it's definitely something we do every single day. So not an issue, but it just takes longer. Obviously, Manhattan is harder than West Winnemucca, Nevada. West Winnemucca, Nevada is in the middle of nowhere. So it's really easy to rank for that. So if you see somebody putting case studies up on their website where they say, oh, I got them ranked right away for ABC Town. If you look up ABC Town and it's a population of 50,000, then you know why they ranked really fast for that town because there's no one there. So it's easy to rank folks in places where there is a lower population, there's less competition, obviously. It's very hard to do something like Manhattan, Miami, Dallas. Those are much harder to rank for and take a lot more work. SEO is a long-term strategy. I would say 6 to 12 months is what you should give it. It's not a one and done. It's a continuous addition of content both on your site and off your site to help Google understand the importance of you, your business, and your services. So it's a long-term strategy. Do not believe the person who guarantees first page results for all keywords. That will never happen. If you or your SEO person has made Google mad, you will find it very hard to turn that around. It can be done, but sometimes we run across a website or a town for a website that is for some reason stuck when all the other towns for that website are doing great. And I just know if I do a deep dive, I'm going to find that there's some old shenanigans that have been done by someone in SEO that made that website not rank well for that specific town. It made Google mad. And so now we certainly are having a hard time ranking them. And if I look into it deep enough, I can usually at least have a good idea of what happened. So just be careful who you hire and be careful of who you trust, because that's a rough thing to get through. You might see great results really fast, but hold on to your hat because it could be temporary. So there are definitely ways to get somebody to rank really fast in a certain town. But as soon as Google figures out what that SEO person did, it might backfire. So be careful. You want long-term good results. You want every time Google's algorithm changes, you want to be able to survive that. So you definitely want a long-term positive result. Every keyword phrase can't be number one at the same time. But so you're going to see ebbs and flows. I'm number one, I'm number five, I'm number nine, I'm number two. You're going to see it go up and down depending on what the focus is for that website, that month, that week, that day. But having a consistently nice first page result is what you're looking for. Any questions? We're good?
Yeah, we have one question in there.
Sure.
Just can you give an example of the fast results?
Give you an example of a fast result. You mean like ranking number one for home care in Miami? Well, you could. I mean, I don't have a website where I can show you that really fast, but or how that's done. But there are lots of behind the scene ways where, I've seen SEOs do some kind of backhanded things and and they can get their client to rank, but it's temporary. It looks great for like a couple weeks or maybe even a month. But as soon as that SEO walks away or as soon as Google catches on, boom, it crashes and it's back to, page 4. So just be careful who you hire. Be careful who you hire. That's all. I mean, if people have been doing SEO for a really long time and they have great reviews, then chances are you're in a good place. If you don't have any reviews or you can't, you look at their case studies and they look kind of like, oh yeah, you ranked them in a bunch of small towns. Is it real? Just do your due diligence, and you get what you pay for. That's another thing you should know. You get what you pay for. If somebody is ultra cheap, they're probably not doing nearly the work, or it's offshore, which I don't care if it's offshore if it's done correctly, but that would be maybe not a red flag, but definitely a pink flag raising up out of the sand there. So SEO factors that matter: content quality. So it can't be 100% AI written and just little, just yuck. You need whoever writes the content, if they use AI, which let's face it, that's going to happen. If they use AI, that's fine, but it has to be edited down for a real human being to read and understand and be able to scan with their eyes and be able to walk through. If you write with AI and you don't read it and you just post it and you don't take the time to understand what it's saying, eventually you're going to find errors in there because AI makes things up. So I can see that as we look for, one time I asked AI, give me 5 quotes from professionals about dementia research. And it did. It gave me 5 great quotes. And 2 of them were completely made up. They sounded great. Like, I wanted that to be my quote, but they were the person was like Dr. John Smith. So I Googled it and it totally didn't exist. It will make things up to make you happy. So you can't rely on AI for everything. It's, edit it, read it, make sure you know it's right. So content quality is important. Keywords, I'm going to talk about that. Backlinks, yes. User experience, that goes back to the speed and how it looks on mobile. The user experience needs to be clean, easy to read, not moving parts all over the place. The other thing about user experience, and I hope nobody does this in 2024. Oh, if your website plays a video or music as soon as you hit the page, I'm out. And so are all the other Gen Xers. Nobody wants to hear that. Don't have it play music. Don't have your website play any music or video. Oh God. Or if it plays a video, make sure the volume is automatically turned off. So I don't care if their mouth is moving, but that would scare me to death if I had headphones on and all of a sudden something's, loud and playing. Don't do that. So user experience is important. Mobile friendliness, engagement, and location. All of those things are very important. So we use all these things I'm telling you about to help Google understand this stuff. All right. Are we still good on questions? Okay. So I'm going to talk to you about two different kinds of SEO. Now, everybody's going to define this differently. Every company that you look at is going to have a different package plan. So I'm just going to tell you ours, just so you kind of have an idea of what happens. When we build a website, we automatically do a bunch of stuff. And we automatically do a basic one-time SEO of all the pages and all the behind the scenes stuff. So we automatically write long form content. We automatically add all the title tags and meta descriptions. They're all search engine optimized correctly. We automatically use keywords throughout. We automatically add schema to service pages and location pages. We automatically test for speed and make sure it's an A. Our images are properly labeled. Every page has H1 titles and a few other basics. That is a normal process for us inside of a website build, and it should be for everyone. But I will tell you right now that we get called to fix people's websites that we did not build. So a lot of web developers are not SEO people, and so they'll build you a website, but the name of your homepage is test-home or homepage-2 instead of home care in West Winnemucca, Nevada by ABC Home Care. So they don't SEO anything. They just build you a pretty website, but it never ranks because it's not been taken care of on the back end. And Google doesn't know what this is talking about. It's just homepage-2. So, a basic setup for us includes all the basic SEO that you need to be in good shape. And then we have an enhanced SEO program, which is ongoing work, which I believe is important for everybody. And most of our clients purchase this. So enhanced SEO means we're doing all the basic stuff, but we're adding location pages every month and more long form stuff and backlinks from local publications online and more schema code for each location page. We add video, audio, and we have a bunch of offsite strategies that we use. Your Google business profile is optimized and ongoing posts go into that. You get monthly reporting. So we're on top of it. We're looking at it. We're working with you. You may change, the towns that you're really interested in ranking for. So to me, enhanced SEO ongoing is important strategy to keep in mind. But just make sure that if you have a website built, that it is at the very least, some basic stuff needs to be done. All right. Okay, let's talk keywords. Everybody wants to know what the best keyword phrases are. So I'm going to start by telling you what the keyword phrases are not. And this is going to surprise some of you. My number one no for a keyword phrase, which some people are going to disagree with this, but I'll tell you why. Home health aid. This is a huge no. And the reason it's a no, I know you have home health aides. I know you provide home health aides. But this is a job seeker search. This is a job seeker search 100% of the time. Now, there will be a handful of people who will type in home health aid because they want a home health aid, but that is not usually the case. So it's a job seeker search, HHA, CNA, home care jobs, careers, home care careers, caregiver jobs. Even the word caregiver is not a keyword that I would optimize a website for, a home care website. Because it's a job seeker search. There are thousands of instances of the word caregiver, in-home caregiver, caregiver for seniors. there's all kinds of variations on that theme, but caregiver by itself is not something that I would ever optimize a website for. And I can tell you that I've come across websites that that we have analyzed for a client, and somebody built it and who wasn't in the home care business at all, who had never didn't understand home care, usually some offshore thing. And they just looked up the top keyword phrases or just went with whatever the client thought might be a top keyword phrase. And the whole website was SEO'd for phrases like home care jobs. Because if you really want to know, home care jobs or home health care or home care careers is one of the top searches. But that does not mean that you want your website to be SEO'd all over the place for that keyword phrase. But somebody who doesn't understand the home care business might think that's a great thing, right? So they're gonna go in and SEO your whole website for home care jobs. Now, I haven't seen that lately, but in the past, I've seen it quite a bit. Wrong keyword phrases all over the place because the person that built the website doesn't understand home care. Companionship is debatable, but I'm not looking for companionship. That will denote dating and dating sites and things like that. I would say in-home companionship might be a good variation on that, but not just companionship by itself. You want to make sure that the keyword phrases you're using have the word home in them: home health care, non-medical home care. I'm going to show you the list in just a second. Housekeeping, laundry, transportation, and errands. No. These are not things that people are typing in. They do not understand what all of this means in terms of home care. So if they're looking for a housekeeping for a senior, they really are looking for some kind of housekeeping service. They're looking for laundry services. They're looking for laundry services, not home care. So these are ones by themselves to kind of stay away from. Does that make sense? Do we have any questions?
We have a question.
All righty.
So what do we do if we want both clients and caregivers? How to SEO for both?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You have one page that you absolutely want to SEO the heck out of for, your job seekers. You want your job seekers. I totally get that too. So you have one page or maybe two or three, depends on what you're hiring or who you're hiring, what licenses they hold. So you might have a careers page that is SEO'd for home care jobs. And then you might, if you're hiring RNs, you might have one that is home health nurse jobs or home health jobs for RNs, or whatever you'd have to do a little research on it, but you can have a whole careers section of your website that's great. But I've seen entire websites that have the word home care jobs all the way through on the back end, and that's not what you want. So yes, designate a page or two to your careers. That is an excellent idea, but it's never the whole website.
Great.
Good.
And there's another question there too. Besides analyzing competitors' websites and using Google Trends, what other tools do you suggest for finding keywords?
Well, we like to use SEMrush. I think there's a free version. There's another one called Ahrefs, but SEMrush is SEMrush. That's my favorite. Everybody's got different opinions. There are some other ones that are free that might be better, that you can, look at, or you just, keyword research kind of stuff. But SEMrush typically is what I would use to analyze what's going on. Okay. So here are some yes keywords, and this is a big list. So we're going to start at the top, and this has changed over the years. I've watched this for so long now that I was shocked at how much this has changed. So it's tricky, but these are yes words. Anything with a yellow arrow is a no word because you are not car and home insurance. But if I did a keyword research and I said, what are the top keyword phrases? And that's what I did today for this screenshot. What are the top keyword phrases for home care? This is the list it would return. Now I want you to know that home health care is up at the top, and you can see that it says the volume is 27,100, same as home health care near me. They're both neck and neck, right? there are 70,000 iterations of the word home health care. Not kidding. So in over a million searches a month. Now, this is nationwide in the United States. This is not in West Winnemucca, Nevada, or your town. Your town might have 20 searches for home health care every month or 200 searches, but nationwide, 27,000. So when you look at your numbers compared to these, they're going to be significantly smaller. But if you want to know on a large scale what's going on, this is it. So home care comes in number 3. Now, you all know, and I know that there's a challenge there. If I'm a home care agency in some states and in some areas of the country, I can say a lot about home health care. I can use that word interchangeably, and it doesn't hurt me. The state's not going to come after me. But in a lot of states where home care is highly regulated, and you know who you are, you cannot say the word home health care if you're a non-medical home care agency. So you have to be really careful about how you choose your words. Just because home health care is number 1 might be a super bad idea for you, right? And it's also a bad idea for your competitors. So nobody's using that because they're in the non-medical world in your area. In some areas, you definitely want that to be part of your routine because it doesn't matter. Or maybe you are a home health care agency. So great. So use that word as much as you want. But we have to be careful between medical and non-medical home care. Somebody that doesn't understand home care the way we do will never know that. They will never understand the conundrum of every single state's licensing requirements or no requirements at all. Like here in Missouri, and we're the Wild West, and you can be whatever you like. So you can see these keywords. So it used to be, I want you to know, let's go way down here to Homestead Senior Care. Homestead Senior Care, it says that there are 9,000 searches a month, 9,900. Now I'm telling you that I know that used to be 30,000, and Homestead Senior Care was the number 1 or number 2 keyword phrase in the United States for some period of time. Now, Google algorithms have changed, and so it might not be, these numbers might be more correct today than they were back then. But it used to be Homestead Senior Care. And then let's see here, go all the way down to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4 from the bottom. You see home care assistance? Home care assistance was number 2 after Homestead Senior Care. Now home care assistance has changed their name to The Key. And so home care assistance is still well searched, but it's not nearly as searched as it used to be. So it's down to 6,600 per month. Anyway, just interesting. Those 2 brands they had it nailed. So they did really well in a home care search. So you can see for Bayada is definitely up there. And then car and home insurance, what is that? I don't know why that's in there. And then you have Synergy, more car insurance, home instead, car insurance, First Light, preferred home care, car and home insurance, First Light, home and car insurance, I don't know, Access Home Care, and then best car and home insurance company. So those yellow ones are ones you obviously would not use, but you can just kind of get a feel for what the most search keyword phrases are. And what it doesn't tell you is how many different versions of that keyword are searched, which is in whole nother place in SEMrush, and that's 70,000. And it's probably the same for home care, maybe more for home care by itself. So these are some of the keyword phrases you want to think about. Now, a lot of you also offer very specific services, and you want to be search engine optimized for those services. Parkinson's in home care, Alzheimer's in home care, dementia home care, memory care at home. Those are keyword phrases that you definitely want to have in your suite of services and service pages listed for, because even though they're not listed here, if someone has Alzheimer's disease or has a family member with Alzheimer's disease or dementia, they're going to start searching stuff like, how do you care for a person with Alzheimer's at home? Can you care for a person with Alzheimer's at home? And if you were to look at some of the content that we've written over time in our frequently asked questions, that's almost always, some form of that question is almost always there because people type that in all the time. It's long tail keyword phrases, but you don't want to miss that client, that potential client, because you didn't have that set of words on your website. So some generic services and some very specific to disease processes are really important.
Valerie, we have a question.
Okay.
What if your home care company has all three levels of care, hospice, home health, and private duty?
Very nice. So I would make sure that you had a section of your website devoted to private duty and a section divided for home health care and a section for hospice. So you can do this all in one website. You just have to be very specific about your pages. So under non-medical home care or home care, however you want to label it, you would make sure you have your companion care, personal care services, whatever it is that you would like to list under non-medical. And then under a home health, a big home healthcare page, then you would have underneath that all of your, IV infusions, wound care, whatever else, G2, trach, if you do trachs, whatever the other services are, you don't have pages for those that are a subpage of your home healthcare page. So the way you structure, sort of like chapters in a book, part 1, and then you have chapters. Part 2, then you have chapters that relate to part 2. So you kind of think of it as putting a book together with a lot of parts. And then under hospice, if you do palliative care as well, you may have palliative care under that. If not, you might just have some hospice services, like, you talk about the chaplain services, talk about bereavement services, talk about how you can support the hospice care with the non-medical care, right? Hospice support services. You have an aide go in and just help with a bath or companionship or a respite. So anyway, yes, you can design your website for all 3 levels of service. Not a problem. Any other questions? No, good. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so we can do a free, I know Lisa's gonna love this. We can tell you how your website is performing. She will run you a report for days. She love it. So if you go to, and I could put our entire, now here's the thing. I'm a Gen Xer, so if you're on your phone right now, you can't scan this QR code, and I realize that. But if you're on a desktop, you can scan the QR code. It'll take you right to this form. And on our form, it says free website speed and SEO analysis. If you were to click on that, then when we get this form from you, then Lisa and Don will they'll run some reports for you. Somebody let these dogs in my room. I don't know why. So scan the QR code and it'll take you right there. Or go to bit.ly/contact ASN. All right, let's talk about social media for home care. Big changes are coming. So recommendations, I'm going to make sure, okay, we have 15 minutes. We're good. Recommendations. First of all, I say this all the time, but people are hit or miss on what they hear from me. LinkedIn is your professional referral source marketing. This is not where you're going to hit up consumers. And frankly, if I were you, I would not run job seeking ads unless I'm looking for a managerial type position. And by the way, SEO and social media also go hand in hand. SEO works a lot better when you do the things that I'm about to show you. So professional referral source marketing, super important. If you don't have your LinkedIn profile up to date, I want you to go there today and I want you to update it. What is your current job role? Make sure it says what it is and not just VP. It should say VP of marketing for ABC Home Care or community liaison for ABC Home Care. Make it say the whole thing. Say the whole thing under your little bio area. And then connect with me, Valerie Van Boeven. There is only one. So there's 2 Lisa Marcelets.
There isn't.
Pick the one with the big eye. That's the one you want to pick for Lisa.
I want to connect with everyone too. Yes.
Yeah, Don Fiala. I don't know if there's more than one Don Fiala, perhaps, but it's got her picture there, so you're not going to miss it. Same picture. And then Lauren's in there too. Connect with us and see how our profiles look. And you want to mirror what our profiles look. You want to do that. That's important. All right, Facebook is for your community outreach. Your Google business profile is also for your community outreach. TikTok, if you want to get into it, is for community outreach. YouTube is community outreach and professionals, because I will say professionals do watch a YouTube video once in a while, probably more community outreach. X equals no, Insta equals no, Instagram, and X is formerly Twitter. Instagram, some people are big believers in Instagram, but I think they are of a generation that is younger than myself, and also and we're more into Instagram. But I can tell you that if you're looking for me, I am not necessarily going to find home care on Instagram. That is not I am 54, my parent is 75. If she needs home care, Instagram ain't gonna cut it. That is not where I'm going to find home care. I'm a Gen Xer, okay? So I'm gonna go on a Google search. I'm maybe Facebook, yes, Facebook perhaps. And also I might be on TikTok. I personally like it, but I know there's a lot of people who don't. But I like to look at what other old people have to say. So I don't look at young people's stuff. I look at old people's stuff. So Instagram, except for recruiting, I'm saying no, don't worry about it. If you already do it, don't stop doing it. But you're not going to get a client from it, and you're definitely not going to get a client from Twitter. And then Pinterest. Okay. So Pinterest is not a place where I think you're going to get clients either, but I do think it's good for backlinks, pictures, backlinks to your blog articles. It's not going to give you leads, but it's definitely a good place to have a presence. That's all. I'm not, I could take it or leave it, honestly. But LinkedIn, Facebook, Google My Business, and then YouTube, to me, those are pretty important if you're going to do video. And TikTok would probably be under YouTube. So those are the ones I think are important. If you don't have a lot of time, commit to one thing. And the one thing to commit to is LinkedIn. I used to say it was Facebook. I still believe very heartily in Facebook, especially for community outreach. But LinkedIn is your professional to professional networking opportunity in your local area, and you should take it. You should definitely be liking other people's posts. You should be posting on LinkedIn. You should be reaching out to other people. You should be thanking them. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Do I need to stop? Do we have questions of any kind? No. All right. So I've shown this image before. This is what your social media should look like. Now we do branded images that are beautiful that post 5 days a week. But if all of our clients did what these people do, it would be so much better. And the only way you can have this is if you have a community liaison who is out in the field every single day. You're not going to have all of this if you do not have that person out in the field. It might be you or somebody you hire, but whatever the case, you need to be out there. So these folks have all consistently do a really good job of posting all the things that they're doing with other organizations. And if you look really close, like look at Gratitude, and these are not all our clients, by the way, these are just ones I picked. Gratitude Home Care, not our client, but they tagged the Arbor Company and the Manahelmi. I don't know what that is. They picked those and they tagged them. So those companies in turn will see that they're tagged and say something nice about Gratitude Home Care. Or let's see, Jim he tagged the Act Now Foundation and tagged some people that he was there with and tagged his own company. I mean, those are all the things that you should be doing. This is Dale. Dale is a client tomorrow evening. The Stroke Comeback Center will be empty, so we tagged them. And then I'm sure there was a follow-up video after that. We have dog pictures, which are always okay. And then Teepa Snow, if you know who Teepa Snow is, they did their Zoom and they posted live on LinkedIn for this Zoom. So this is also a great way to get some more, visibility out there. So these are all LinkedIn. They can also easily be Facebook posts. So this is what your feed should look like. Your feed, your stuff. You should be taking these pictures, tagging people, and professional networking. So
Valerie, we did have a quick question. What type of info are we putting out on YouTube? So this is back to the previous slide.
Sure. You're only going to use YouTube, obviously, if you're going to do videos, which I'm going to talk about now. And that's really a hard choice for some people because they don't want to be in a video. You don't have to be in the video, but it helps if you are once I hope somebody on your team will do it. And I'm going to show you what I did, and I'm going to show you what a couple of our clients did. All right, so this is Evan. He has Aviva in home care, serves the San Francisco Bay Area. And once in a while, he does a video like this, and he sends it to us in 3 parts. So he records a little bit on his phone, and then records a little bit more, and then records a little bit more. And then we take it and we edit it whoosh, all the way through and just make it pretty. And we add in all these little, like his logo and the little slide-ins and things, and then it has all of the text on it, you know, the captions are all there. If you want to see this video, what the end result look like, if you go to this QR code, you have to be logged into LinkedIn in order to see it. It's there for anyone to see, but if you're not logged into LinkedIn, it's just going to take you to the LinkedIn homepage. If you need a quick link, it's a Viva Video 1. I just made that really quick because the LinkedIn link is really long. Anyway, this is what we put together. We did all this text up here. We tagged him. We tagged his home care agency. We divided it up so people could, you know, see it really easy, read it. And then this is actually a link to his website, which LinkedIn turns into their own link, and then some hashtags. We didn't go crazy on any of it. Very nicely done, very professional. And you'll see that it doesn't have a lot to do with home care specifically, but that's what he wants to do. He wants to talk about understanding how you can maintain your balance. It's really about avoiding falls, right? It's a great video. It's short. I think it's under 3 minutes. So go ahead and look at that. That's one way with your phone that you can easily create a video. You don't have to have all the fancy stuff in there. Nobody cares about the fancy stuff. You don't have to do that. It's pretty. But you can just do a quick video and post it on LinkedIn. It's easy stuff. He did the first time he did this, and I don't think he'd mind me sharing this. He actually used a scrolling like teleprompter plugin or app. And so he was reading the text, or maybe he was reading it off to the side. I can't remember, but he didn't like that. So he made this new version that we just posted today that is a shorter version of it. He didn't like how it sounded when he was reading it. It was too long, too wordy. So he just redid it and kind of did it off the cuff. It turned out great. All right, so I did an 11-part series on video. So if you want to get into YouTube, if you want to, and these can be short videos, they do not have to be long videos. We're talking 1 minute to 3 minutes. Nobody wants to listen to you blather on for an hour like you're listening to me blather on for an hour. Nobody wants to listen to that. So take it in little bitty chunks. So these videos, there's 11 videos. So if you go to this bit.ly ASM video, you'll see it, or do the QR code thing. All these, it take you to our website, and there's a page there with all of it. So these videos are all in a playlist on YouTube, and you can see how long they are: 3 minutes and 57 seconds, 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And if you start at part 1 and just roll through all the videos, these are also on TikTok, by the way. They're also on Instagram. They're also on our website. They're everywhere. So if you scroll through them and watch them, you'll see me doing different versions and showing you how to do it with a teleprompter, how to do it without a teleprompter. And I give you examples of, you know, what's the difference between home care and home health care. I do that simple video for a consumer, for you to see how I would do it.
Yeah, Lacey says these videos were incredibly helpful. Thank you for doing it. So she's doing them. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody is free. Just go look at them, scroll through them, and look at the playlist. You'll see there's part 1 through part.
I agree, they're great because they're written, or you're doing it for the consumer. So a home care owner could watch these and do them themselves. It's a great example on how you would do that. And they're things that the consumer needs to hear. So it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so what you'll see is, although I do have makeup on, and in some of them I use a filter, because Lord, I love those filters. But you can see that I'm off the cuff, and some of them I read. The first couple I read for you, so you can see what it looks like with a teleprompter app, and then I do it off the cuff, just off the top of my head. Some are good, some are not. I even tell you a couple of them, I'm like, don't do it like that. Oh my goodness. So you don't have to be perfect or beautiful, or, you know, just, you know, nice, have a nice shirt on, put that camera in your face and talk about stuff that you think matters to people, and they'll watch. And if you've ever looked at TikTok, you'll know that there's a huge difference in the way people address this today. You do not have to be dolled up like, you're running for a beauty contest or something. It doesn't matter anymore. As long as you're professional and professionally put together, you're good. Okay, so there's actually 11 total videos there. All right, so let's talk about social media. Oh, let's talk about that video. So I could take, and I did take, actually all of these videos that you just saw, that I just talked about, they're all on LinkedIn as well. So if you like LinkedIn, when you go to our website, you can see the link to the LinkedIn videos there as well. So that one video, whether it's 1 minute or 5 minutes, can typically go to all these places. And I didn't even put Instagram on there, but they can. They can go to LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. They're on all of our stuff, and they can easily be on all of your stuff. So think about how much more visibility you would get. You have to remember to always put a link back to your website with every single one of these, even TikTok. TikTok is not going to let you put a live link in your little blurb that goes with the video, but put it there anyway. And on TikTok, you get to put your, in your bio, you get to have a live link there. You can put a link to your website there that will be live. So make sure you've filled out these profiles and done a really good job. We optimize everything, and everything links back to our website on these videos. And that helps your SEO tremendously. Plus, if these are engaging videos and they get extra views and likes, then and people are clicking through to your website for whatever reason, then that makes Google super happy. It's really the way the world is rolling, and I hope you take advantage of this and try to get into it a little bit. Okay. This is a little bit off to the side, but I cannot not tell you about this. So do you have any questions before I go on? Are we good? Okay. So sometimes people will tell us, especially if they're a community liaison out in the field, that they've run out of things to say or do, or reasons to stop by, or videos. They've run out of reasons to make a video. I get it. Sometimes it's really hard, but I mean, I could come up with 250 titles for you if you really need some reasons to make a video. But we put together something that's new for us and new for you. If you run out of things to say, do, or reasons to stop by, you need to look at the Leave Behind Legends program. And I put the link, it's our website /legends. And the reason, and there's a video there that'll talk to you all about what it is. But basically, it's us doing your giveaways for you, your leave behinds for the month. So for September, in September, we're sending out the October leave behinds so that everybody has a chance to get a head start on October, get everything they need done. And if I were taking those leave behinds out to different referral sources, like, and let's see if I showed you it. Oh, no, I did. Oh, I might have. So I'll rewind a minute. So if you go to the website, you can see there are 4 different branded leave behinds each month. You get hard copies. We mail you your copies of everything. And I'll let the video talk about the details. You can watch that. The October leave behinds for this year are a pumpkin decorating contest, physical therapy month, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Apple Day. And there's so many cute things you can do with all of these. And we already put it all together for you. We don't buy or send you the tchotchkes, the little leave behind gifts. We just send you the printed material. So all you have to do, boom, is order the stuff. And here's what the printed looks like. So this time around, it's going to be, and these are just examples, a full page flyer for pumpkin decorating. This is not necessarily carving, it's just decorating. And there's some examples down there at the bottom of real cute ones from over the years. And that's a full page. So you get 25 pages of this. And then these squares are 4 to a page. So if I were doing the pumpkin decorating contest, I would easily make a video about dropping these off. And when I got to a place during the month of October that had decorated their pumpkin, you can bet that that's going to be a video that's going to go on my page. I'm going to talk about where I am and get a shot of their little pumpkin and do a whole video on that. If I'm doing October 21, Happy Apple Day, and I'm giving away some cutesy stuff, I'm going to do a little video about what our leave behind is, what it means to us as an organization, and I'm going to leave that. If it's physical therapy, I'm going to definitely do a little video about how much we appreciate physical therapists in our lives and what they do for, and how we can help at home continue that physical therapy. And I'm going to show my little things that I'm going to give out to my referral sources. So there's a reason to make a video. There's a reason to make a blog post. There's a reason to stop by again this month. And in this case, you end up having 4 reasons to stop by. So every week you have a reason to go by and see your referral sources. Any questions about that? No?
Nope.
And I didn't come up with this myself. This is a Dawn and Lisa thing. I just copied off of them. So we also put together a little store. So for the month of October, and we do not make money off of this, is not our, like, we're not living on this, trust me. But sometimes people will say, well, I wish you had all these links in one place. I wish I could just go to a place and buy all this stuff and not have to search around for it. So this is just a screenshot of the top half of that page. It's our website /store. And for the month of October, you can see all the things that we recommend. I can't scroll down because it's just a screenshot, but you can see the breast cancer awareness stuff, the physical therapy month, the pumpkin decorating. You don't have to do any of it. And you certainly don't have to use our links. You can go to the dollar store. You can go to Oriental Trading. You can do whatever you want. But we know that people often will ask us, for just a place where they can go just to order all their stuff. And so we put it together for the month of October. So there it is. So that is the Leave Behind Legends. So let's talk a little bit. Oh, we're kind of over. Automation and lead generation with email and texting. This is another part of these websites that I showed you in the very beginning. All of these websites are lead generating and lead nurturing automatically. You still need human intervention no matter what. This is home care. It's very personal. It's very private, and it's very overwhelming. So you still need to have the human element. But every single one of these websites is set up to nurture the leads that come in. All of the forms lead back to our CRM, ASN Spark CRM, and that CRM will help get that lead where it needs to be. It will thank them for filling out the form. It will text them a thank you, email them a thank you, and it will alert you that you have a lead that needs to be followed up with. So they instantly are getting a response from someone in your office. They are instantly getting, which is actually automated, and you are instantly getting a notification that, hey, somebody's out there trying to ask about home care. You probably need to follow up. So automation for all leads and referral sources, email to text campaigns, email campaigns for consumer leads, make it easy for advocates to refer with forms and communication, tasks, appointments. There's a mobile app, a desktop version, everything that you can imagine our CRM does, and it's all built into those websites you saw, every single one of them. Now, some of our clients use it religiously, and some of our clients prefer to, just use WellSky or something else. We still use the CRM. They just don't ever log into it, but I don't recommend that. I recommend getting to know it because there's so many things it can do for you. When a lead visits your website, when a consumer visits your website and they fill out a form, this is the whole automation right here. The CRM sends automatic emails and texts. They send you a notification. You contact the lead. The lead is added to a 10-part email drip campaign over the next 30 days to follow up with them to make sure they're okay. And that lead is added to your monthly newsletter, which we do for our clients. They don't have to worry about that. That lead is nurtured, and that means more clients are signed each month. So if you don't have a CRM that's doing all of this for you, this is the other reason why people love our websites, because they don't have to worry that they're going to miss anything. If they're paying attention to their texts and their emails, they're going to see this. Same rule is for the referral sources. Absolutely, everything can be automated, although you may not need to automate as much for referral sources. You can do that. Caregiver retention automation. We have an entire retention automation system set up in our system that you can use for your current staff. And folks love that. And the staff really likes it because they feel appreciated. They feel like they're part of the team. And it's basically just texts and emails that go out to them over the first 90 days. And then it follows up with them on birthdays, every holiday, every year on their anniversaries, things like that. And then we also automate monthly newsletters. Actually, the newsletters are put together by hand by our staff for our clients, but they go out to all of the folks on your list, email, text, and drip campaigns, social media, home care reviews. We have an entire system for that. And that's another thing that's super important for your website and important for you all the way around, getting more home care reviews. Recruiting process, tasks, meeting reminders, orientation reminders, and it has a mobile app. People love the mobile app, and it has a desktop version, which is my preferred version. And I think this is about it. What's missing from your marketing? So is it your website? Is it your SEO? Is it your social media? Is it automation or follow-up or getting organized? Or do you need help with a community liaison with sales skills or sales leads? Whatever it is, we can help you. I think it starts with a really good, genuine conversation. And Dawn Fiala and Lisa are both very good at having a real conversation. And you can scan the QR code or go to bit.ly.contact/contact ASN. It's really just our contact us page, and check all the things you want to talk about, and they'll put you on their list, or you can put yourself on their calendar and you guys can talk about it. What is missing? What is the thing that you need to make things better for you? And that's all right here on our website. And Dawn and Lisa would be happy to talk to you about those things. There's also free marketing guides. So if you're still with me and you're looking at this, you go to our website at the very top, there's this little thing that says marketing guides, and there's the home care videos, or the home care marketing with video, and all of the other free guides you can download. So please take advantage of that and go get your free stuff. All very helpful. All right, anybody have any more questions that I can answer before we go? I have a few frequently asked questions here. We're good? No more questions?
I don't see any.
All right, cool. All right, well, these are some of the frequently asked questions that people commonly ask. How much do your services cost? How long have you been in business? All of that is on our website, not how much our services cost. We don't publish that. I don't say it in webinars because it really depends on you, what you need, what you might not need. And Dawn can talk to you about all that. We serve the entire United States and Canada. We do have dedicated home care sales training that are sold out every time we add a new date. So if you wanted to know more about that, definitely ask Dawn.
Sorry, Valerie, we do have a question. Are your services only for home care, or do you support all lines of care? For example, I currently have a home care agency, but I am in the process of opening a family care home. So I would want to utilize for multiple lines of business.
Yes, we do all lines of senior care business. I will tell you that 90% of our clients are non-medical home care with some home health care in there. And then the other 10% is a complete mix of, we have independent, large, big apartment living, complexes, independent living. We have care homes. We have elder law attorneys. We have, the list goes on. Our forte is home care, but we have hospice. We have, I think we've pretty much covered, we're about to launch a psychiatric rehabilitation website. So that's kind of, we do a lot of adult daycare. So absolutely, we can handle anything that is in the care realm or senior care realm, preferably. We don't do plumbers or roofers or painters or anybody else. We're not generalists. We definitely are in this specific niche, but yeah, we can handle pretty much any kind of senior care that comes our way. Thank you for asking. We have SEO services. We help with Google Ads if you need that. Home care websites. How many employees do you have? We have 20. How is your customer support? It's freaking awesome. It's not your normal support. Support is very good. We have not only a support desk, but people will call you.
Mm-hmm.
They will call you,
which is unheard of in this website kind of industry, which I found out when I joined. You don't talk to people.
They will call you.
Yes, we will.
Oh Lordy, yes. You will not go with the question unanswered, and we will call you until your question is answered. No, it's really good support. We also have live AI chat. So if you go to our website, it'll say, "How can I help you with your marketing needs?" And this AI will chat with you for a while if you want it to. It's not us really. It has my picture on it, but we will get the message and we will definitely get you set up for whatever you need. Do I own my own website? Absolutely, you own your own website. And yes, you own your own content. Whatever we put on there for you is yours to keep forever. And how often do you present new leave behinds and handouts? Oh, I don't know how that got in there, but that's a good question. Well, we send you 4 per month. So I think every week you should have something a little bit different to hand out. That's nice. If you're not quite that organized, at least twice a month. I don't know if I could be as organized as 4 times. So that's it. I think that's everything. And I appreciate you guys hanging with me. Oh, do we have any more questions or are we done?
There's just one. I missed the cost of SEO. Somebody, yeah, so we
We
can.
don't talk about costs on a live webinar that's going to be public because, you know, our competition would love to know that.
Right.
But we'll happily talk to you on the phone about it. We don't chat, email, or unless we've had a conversation about it with you, because some of the things that you may not need may lower the cost. Some of the things you definitely need may make the cost a little higher. And it'd be kind of rough for us to give an overall cost for somebody who didn't need a bunch of stuff. You know, I wouldn't want to just blanket tell you something that you didn't need. So it depends on your needs. And I know that's kind of disappointing that I'm not going to share the costs, but really, if you talk to Dawn, you'll understand why. It's a lot of conversation about good business development as opposed to here, click the link and buy our services. It's not like that. But thank you everybody for hanging in there with me. And I appreciate you coming today and hope to see you on our next webinar as well. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.